Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel if you're new. Hi, I'm Mary. I post fashion, beauty, and health and wellness videos. And I am sitting here with my coffee, and I wanted to sit down and break down my routines and talk a little bit about the importance of routines, because I am, you guys know, I'm so routine oriented. I've been this way, like I feel like routines got trendy like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but I've always been this way. I've just been very like routine. I don't know, like even as a kid, like my mom would always be like, Mary, you need to like chill, like you're obsessed with your routine. And I've just always been that way, and the reason I am is because it makes me feel really grounded, and like I think that routines are a beautiful way for us to find comfort amidst chaos. And like for me, I think, and for a lot of people, day-to-day life is chaotic, so it's important to like acknowledge that chaos and like feel the chaos, but going alongside that, like it's also great to have practices and routines and rituals that you can kind of fall back on that make you feel grounded going into the day and maybe going into sleep, because sleep is so important and a lot of people don't get enough sleep, and I think a nighttime routine can really help with that. And then I think just a lot of people aren't grounded during the day, and I think a morning routine can really help with that. So I wanted to really break these down. Like, I don't know if you guys know, I have a lot of different routines. And so like I swear by my morning routine, I swear by my nighttime routine. I do have a weekly cleaning routine, which I'll get into. Don't worry, I'm putting that in today's vlog because I'm deep cleaning today. So I'm gonna show you guys my deep clean like routine checklist. I'm just very routine oriented. I even have like a sitting down to cook dinner routine, which is gonna be part of the nighttime routine that I discuss because it's really grounding for me. But I figured, you know, I film these videos like nighttime routine, morning routine, but I never just sit down and like break it down for you guys. And I actually got this idea from some podcast. Like I saw like the importance of routines in the podcast title, and I was like, oh, I should talk about that, because sometimes like talking you guys through things is easier than like showing you. And obviously I'll still continue to do those videos, but like I don't know, I wanted to sit down and break it down. So anyways, grab your coffee, grab your notepad, and let's talk. Okay, so morning routine. Ideally, I like to get up anytime between 7 and 7:30. And honestly, it can go from 6:45 to 7:30. Let's say that. In the summer, I naturally get up earlier. So in the summer, I can get up around 6:30 and I'm so great. In the winter, I like to err towards like 7:15. And honestly, I think that's feasible for, even if you do work a 9 to 5, I think that's feasible, because then if you get up at 7:15, you have whatever, an hour and 45 minutes to have your morning before you log on. Whereas, I mean, it's harder if you go into the office, but if you do go into the office and you want to talk about that, like I could totally, like if you DM me, we'll like talk and customize it to your lifestyle. But that's just for me, 6:45 to like 7:30. I like to wake up. I like to wake up around the same time every day. So like that 45-minute interval is when I'll wake up. I naturally wake up around then, but I also love my sunrise alarm clock because it boosts my circadian rhythm. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes me feel awake right when I wake up because the sunlight like shines in my room. It's amazing. You honestly should get the one that I have instead of the Hatch. Sorry, Hatch. But especially if you're trying to limit like EMF frequent, or is that what it would be? Just like any sort of like frequencies from things. Obviously we all are surrounded by technology, so you can only limit it so much. But like I personally, like that thing's connected to your phone. I sleep with my phone not in my room, strictly because of that. So why would I want something that's attached to my phone in my room? Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas like the Oura Ring, it turns off like at night, like the frequencies. We asked our functional medicine doctor. I don't know a ton about it, but anyways, long story short, I love my alarm clock because it's a simple alarm clock, but it still has a sunrise feature. So I get up anytime between then. first thing I do when I wake up is make my bed. I literally make my bed even before I go pee. First I open the blinds. Let's be really micro here. First, I put my sleep mask away. I sleep with a sleep mask every night, a silk one. I think it really helps me. I've been doing it since I went to Iceland, because when I went to Iceland, I had to, because it was daylight like 24 hours. So love that. Put my sleep mask away, turn my humidifier on because I don't sleep with it on. That's just personal preference because there's a light on it, but if yours doesn't have a light on it, I recommend you sleep with your humidifier on, unless it makes you break out. That happens to some people. Okay, so open the blinds, make the bed, then I go turn off my fan, I go into the bathroom, I go pee. I usually come out of the bathroom and I unload the dishwasher. I don't know why, but it makes me feel accomplished having the dishwasher unloaded and my bed made right when I wake up. So I unload the dishwasher, and then after the dishwasher is unloaded, I water my plants and I refill my humidifier if I need to do that. So I water a plant a day. That's how it works. Or if it's small ones, 2 small ones. That's just my cycle with watering my plants. If I need to change the flower water, I do that in the morning too. Just things to kind of set the tone. I always start my essential oil diffuser because it is, I love having grapefruit or lemon in it just to wake me up in the morning. So I do that. Then I go over to my phone and I turn on 528 hertz frequency. I do not look at anything on my phone. I go straight to Spotify. I turn that on and I put my phone back face down over there. We have a Sonos system, so I just put it right on the Sonos. I turn on my little candles over here, really get the vibes immaculate. Then I'll go into the bathroom and start like my skincare stuff. So what I always do is I brush my hair, I brush my teeth, and then after I brush my teeth, I wash my face with my CeraVe face wash, and then I dry brush my whole body. Some people do that before you shower. I know it's kind of weird that I do it in the morning, and some people might think it's gross. I personally don't. I'm a really clean person, so I just don't think it's gross. And the reason I do it in the morning is because that dry brushing really wakes me up. So 2 things that wake me up: dry brushing, and then after I dry brush, I go and grab an ice cube and I run it across my face. That wakes me up too, and it depuffs my face. I don't have a naturally puffy face, but it really helps me. And I know people who deal with like pretty bad facial inflammation when they wake up. That really helps. So try that. I don't know why I keep doing the little like okay. So then after I dry brush and ice my face, I will do my skincare routine, which, long story short, skincare routine is so simple in the morning. I do a cotton swab or a cotton little pad. I put my Thayer's Witch Hazel on it onto the face, and then I put my Alto Defense serum on, curl my eyelashes, put some Supergoop under my eyes, the eye cream, just for a little glow, put some lip balm on, put my hair back, and we're good to go. Then I go and I change, because if I stay in my jammies or I stay in my robe while I'm doing my sit down morning rituals, then I'll stay in it for like hours. So I change into activewear usually, because I do a Tasha Franken workout honestly pretty much every day. That's what works for my body. Doesn't work for everyone, but I love shorter workouts with consistency rather than like a super long workout 5 times a week. So then once I'm changed, I grab my books from my bedside table and I come and I sit down right over there. And then if it's a cloudy day, I use my light thingy, my little light to help with my circadian rhythm. If not, honestly, since we're moving out of winter, I haven't been using it as much. But I'll read the Daily Stoic. I'll do my 5-minute journal. I will journal and do my manifestations and scripting. And then I will do my Wim Hof breath work, which is 30 breaths in and out like that, but 30 breaths, and then you hold. Usually I can hold for like 2 to 3 minutes. I know it sounds whack, but just get into Wim Hof and then you'll realize what I mean. It's amazing. That's another thing that really wakes me up in the morning. And then after Wim Hof, I pull a card because I feel like I'm in a really grounded space after that. So I pull one of my Divine Oracle cards, and then I will go and get a coffee. Honestly, I love getting a coffee every morning. Like, I could talk about that, and in my opinion, the importance of getting out in the morning for days on end. Like, this morning it was pouring and Kate and I still went. We were like, okay, you know what? Actually, okay, when we went, it hadn't started pouring yet, but we knew it was gonna rain, and we were like, whatever, like, we're getting out, we're getting our coffee. Like, I am pretty radical when it comes to that, just because I know how it sets the tone for my day. Like, getting outside in the morning, it's so important. I think it's even more important than a workout for me. But so then I go get a coffee. I am a frequenter at La Colombe. I love it there. It's my favorite coffee shop. I really don't go anywhere else because I just love it. I'm very, I love my cold brew from there, or I love the oat black and tan. It just hits. And it's so cozy. We go to the Gold Coast location in Chicago. Here's why you need to go to La Colombe. The Gold Coast location is so cozy, and it's just the best. Their coffee is phenomenal. I have yet to find coffee that I think is better than it in the whole world. Please let me know if you think that you've found coffee better than La Colombe, and I will try it. And yeah, it's affordable. It's way cheaper than Starbucks. Starbucks here is expensive. La Colombe here is not, in my opinion. And now that people know my order, and that just really gets me. I love it. So then we go get our coffee. I love getting a coffee with a friend in the morning. It just like really sets the tone for my day, and it's like great for me to have that social connection, you know, especially because I do spend like a lot of time alone, which I love, but I also love being around people. So I do that, and then I come back, do my workout, and then I start my day. And that usually takes around total, I would say, for like a solid, like not rushed, 2 hours. But if I'm like rushing a little bit, I could do it in an hour 30, an hour 45. So yeah. But keep in mind, I do a shorter workout, so like that's why I can do all of that. But yeah, that's my morning routine. I wanted to get really granular. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, because I love a good morning routine. Like, I really do, and I think I've kind of honed mine, like, to set me up for like success in my day, and I've honed it to be like what I love and what makes me feel grounded, but also like what keeps my space clean. Like, oh, I also forgot to mention, like, when I'm doing the watering of the plants, all of that, I fluff my couch, like all of that jazz. And it just keeps my space really fresh and clean. So, and my mind really fresh and clean. So I love my morning routine, if you guys can't tell. I think part of my purpose, in all honesty, is like cultivating morning routines and night routines and just routines in general for people that like work for them. So if you want me to do that for you, I'll do it, because I just love to help people feel more grounded and to help people become their best self. Okay, so that's morning. Night routine. So night routine starts at 6:30. Around 6:30, 6:45. So let's say you do work a 9 to 5. Here's how it would go for me. You log off around 5 or 5:30. You get outside. I love starting the day and ending the day by doing some sort of movement. I think that's really great. So you get outside, even if it's just for 30 minutes, you did it, and that's amazing. So let's say you log off. Just to play it safe, you log off at 5:30, 5:45. You put on those walking shoes, you get outside, you go for like a 45-minute walk, whatever. I mean, obviously everyone's different, and I'm telling you my routine, but this is how I would do it if that was my reality. So I come back from my walk, and honestly, I love to do like a evening walk too. Like, me and my friend Claire are kind of the queens of the evening walk. We just really like it. it just does a great job of setting the tone for the evening. And honestly, in my ideal world, I go to Foxtrot at the end of my walk and I pick up a Drom, which is a sparkling water for me to sip on while I make dinner. If I don't pick up a Drom, I make a sparkling water here. I have San Pellegrino that I get from Costco, and then I put half a lime in it. We're getting really granular here. If I did some cooking or baking that day, then I had and if Blake had put like his Tupperware, whatever, in the dishwasher, our dishwasher would be full after I have lunch, so I will run it on express. And then, like, I'm getting really granular for you guys. And then, when I get back from my walk, I will unload the dishwasher, so I have a fresh dishwasher for dinner because we go through a lot of dishes. And I usually will just, like, scrub them and then run it on express, because if you run it on express, whatever, this does not matter because everyone's different. Regardless, do that, and then I make my sparkling water. I put on my apron, I light a candle, or 5, however many I'm feeling, but at least 1 candle, and I put on music. Lately, I've been into like Jhené Aiko, her is a singer, Daniel Caesar, that vibe. I just think it's really sexy, romantic, great for setting the tone for the evening. So I put that on, or I put on a podcast or an audiobook. It's really what I'm feeling. I've been loving audiobooks recently. I've been loving autobiographies lately. But it really just depends. I do love music while I'm cooking though. So I put on my music, I put on my apron, and we get going. Usually preheat the oven. And this is probably 5 nights a week I cook. I love to cook. It brings me so much joy in sitting down and connecting for a meal. I was just talking to Blake about this. Like, I grew up in the restaurant industry. So I grew up, food is literally like, was my family's life. And so I think that's why it's so important to me. But I think like it can be such a great point of connection for anyone. So do you have to do this every single night? No. And I encourage you not to. Like, that's a little weird. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, I just think like with routine, like it can get really regimented and we need to like stray away from that, but we also need to have some sort of dedication to it. Do you know what I mean? So I love to cook a dinner. If I'm not cooking dinner, Blake and I will like go out, or sometimes we order in. I'm not big on ordering in because if I'm gonna have dinner out, I like to go out. Or like, there's always room to not do this, but this is like 70% of the time, we'll say. 60%, 70. Okay, so with dinner, I love to, like just cook dinner. I don't know, just enjoy that. And then Blake gets home around 7:30 or 8 usually, but it depends. Like, and that's just the nature of his job. Like, he works a lot and usually he'll log back on after we have dinner. Sometimes he doesn't make it home for dinner. Like last night we didn't have dinner together and I literally just like made a salad and was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm gonna go to bed at like 8:30. And I did, and like, whatever. But like, this is like ideal. We get our connection time, which I love. So it really just depends. Let's say Blake gets home around 7:45. When I'm cooking, I love to have, and I've told you guys, I love to like do food combining like 80% of the time, 70% of the time. But I do at dinners love to have a protein, a starch, and then like 2 vegetables and a salad. That's just how I like to roll. So even, let's say I make a pasta dish, I love my pasta dish to have some sort of protein component, even if it's just like, sometimes I count cheese as protein because I'm like, okay, well, that's it. Or if it's like a seafood pasta, I love making seafood pasta like with some scallops in it. Then you have the pasta, you have the scallops, and then maybe you do like a side of broccoli, and you also put like some red peppers or tomatoes in with that pasta, so you have 2 little veg. And then you have a nice arugula side salad. That's just how I like to structure dinners. I actually got that from my friend Natalie because her boyfriend was a college football player. And so I don't know if that contributes at all, but I feel like he did have to like think about like the components of his diet a lot more than like maybe the average Joe. And so they always like structured dinner. Okay, we need a protein, we need a veggie, we need a carb. And I kind of love that. I just think it's a great structure for cooking. So yeah, lately, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been on a major fish kick, like sea bass and salmon and scallops, but I just don't have as much access to great scallops. But sea bass and salmon are my vibe. So like tonight, for example, I'm gonna make sea bass. And then for the carb, I haven't decided yet. And then for the veggies, I'll probably do, I have some broccoli cut up, so I'll do that. And I'll do something else. And then I'll make some sort of like, probably a Caesar salad, honestly, because we're obsessed with Caesar salad. And I'll probably throw some croutons in there because we haven't had croutons in a hot minute. So yeah, I love to cook. Sorry, this is like really granular, but I feel like, I don't know, I love talking about this stuff, and I'm a pretty granular gal, so I figured, why not? Anyways, also, I don't know why I keep apologizing. I need to stop doing that, you guys. It's something that I've realized that I tend to do a lot, where I apologize for things that there's no need to apologize for. And I was actually, I don't know if I told you guys this. No, I don't think so. I was in a job interview. This was probably like 7 months ago. And literally the guy looked at me and he said, you need to stop apologizing. Like, in life, you need to not do that, because it makes people feel like you owe them something. Like, it's putting people in a position of power when they don't need to be put in that position of power. So anyways, I'm not sorry. But after dinner, we love to like sit down and have a phone-free dinner. Like, that's like my thing. And that, again, I think that's like a result of how I grew up. Like, I just don't like to be sitting on my phone during dinner. It's not my vibe. So we love to enjoy dinner. After dinner, we obviously clean up. I'm a big fan of a shower before bed. So after we clean up, I put my tea on, and that I get my tea ready. I love licorice tea right now, but like I love cup of calm tea as well. I like peppermint tea, but I find sometimes peppermint gives me a little indigestion. So honestly, 90% of the time I drink licorice tea. I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, if you haven't tried it, you should try it. It's really good. So I put my tea on, I get in the shower. I just have my salt lamp on. In the bathroom, I do not turn on any other lights. I hop in the shower. I'm a big fan of a really hot shower. Because that's how I grew up again. But I love to just take a nice warm shower, get my loofah nice and sudsy, wash my body, wash my face, do my thing. After I get out of the shower, I always moisturize, usually with an oil-based moisturizer, because I find that it grounds me for sleep. And then I do my skincare. Skincare at night is I do my witch hazel again, and then I put my Vintner's Daughter on, and that's it. And I'll just usually like use some sort of a facial tool or gua sha. And I guess I do my Grande Lash as well, which that stuff is amazing. I love Grande Lash. I have a code for it. It's in my link tree. I literally don't get paid to talk about it. I just love Grande Lash. And then I do my under eye cream, which right now, what am I using? I think I'm using the Ole Henriksen. I'm not like obsessed with it, but it's good. And then I grab, at that point, my tea is ready to be poured. So I pour my tea and let that steep. While I'm letting it steep, I do my 5-minute journal for the nighttime. And then we have our red lights in our room, so I usually have the lighting super low in there. I get in bed and I read. And so at that point, it's usually like 9. So if I get in bed around 9, I'll read until 10. And I love to get an hour of reading in before bed, A, because I sleep the best, and B, because then I'm like actually making progress on books. So I will read, enjoy my tea, and yes, I eat my dessert in bed. My mom is shocked every time I do it. She's like, you are literally the last person to eat in bed, because I'm such a clean freak. But there's something about it. I don't know, it just hits diff. And we have a white couch that we don't eat on, so like if I eat in bed, at least I can wash the sheets, whereas like, I don't know. but 90% of the time I have a Bread Garden granola bar for dessert. I'm obsessed with them. I don't know what it is, but like nothing compares. Like every time I have like a cookie or like some ice cream or some chocolate, I'm always like, why did I have that? I wish I would have my granola bar. Or I'll get like halfway through it and I'll be like, fuck it, I'm having a granola bar. I don't know, I just love them. Like peanut butter chocolate and oatmeal, like it's just like, it really hits for me. I'm not like a sweet person other than peanut butter chocolate. Like my friends always tell me, they're like, you really like don't like sweets besides peanut butter chocolate. Like I never want like I never am craving like, ooh, I want a piece of pie, or ooh, I want some like lemon bread. Like things like that just like don't really do it for me, but the granola bars do. So yeah, I enjoy my tea, I read my book, and I love going to bed around like 10. And that's it. That was a lot. I'm literally looking, I've been talking about this for 30 minutes almost, like, okay. But I love a good routine. So you guys should like DM me your routines, like audio message me. Because I love hearing, I just love a good routine. I hope this was helpful to you. Again, with routines, like I need to say this again, because I have been at the opposite end of the spectrum and I'm always working to be less regimented with my routine, just because I am technically, like I'm innately a pretty regimented person. So like you don't want to get so attached from your routine that you can't stray away from it, but you also, like you want to be able to live normal life if you weren't able to do your routine. Like for example, in Peru, it was really great for me because like, for example, when we had like those hiking mornings, like we were getting up at like 5 a.m. So like I did Wim Hof, but other than that, I did not do anything. And the only reason I did Wim Hof was because I knew I was gonna be hiking in high altitude and I was like, ooh, this is good for my lungs. But like you need to be able to like stray away from things. But it also just depends on what type of personality you have. Like you also have to hold yourself accountable. So anyways, long story short, thanks guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button below, follow me on Insta. It's all linked down below. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next vid. Okay, bye guys.